Hey, it's Aaron, and today I'm with a 2022 Chevrolet Silverado Trailboss Edition. Specifically, this is the LT Trailboss. I'll talk about what that means in a minute. This particular truck, this is a half-ton, it's the 1500. It has the Duramax diesel engine underneath this hood. Beautiful engine. I think out of all of the engines in Chevy's lineup for their pickup truck lines, this is by far my favorite. It's very efficient. It doesn't lag at all. There's none of the usual drawbacks of a diesel, and it just adds a lot of power to the truck. Great choice in there. Of course, there is an upcharge for that. We'll go over Monroney later. But first, let's talk about the Trailboss, and specifically why it's different than the ZR2 we drove earlier. Okay, so let's talk about what the Trailboss is. You can get the Trailboss two different ways. The first way is to go up from the WT, the work truck base model, and go to the custom model, and then add the Trailboss on top of that. So that's called the Custom Trailboss Edition, and it has the basis for all the Trailboss gear. The next one that you can get is you can go up to the LT model, which adds a lot of interior and other things, and you can add the Trailboss to that. In that edition, most of what the Trailboss adds are pretty things instead of actual off-road equipment. So if you are looking for an off-road truck on the cheaper end, you go with that custom Trailboss. If you're looking for a higher end that has a little more going on and more comforts and other things, then you go with this version. So let me tell you what's on it, and then we'll talk about the difference between the Trailboss and the ZR2. So the Trailboss Edition comes, of course, with four-wheel drive. It has a Z71 badge because it includes that off-road gear, mostly the suspension changes that happen with that package. It also has added skid plates and a couple of other things, most of which are all adding to the off-road capability. Now, the transfer case on the Trailboss is a 2-speed transfer case, which means that your four-wheel drive has more options. Basically, 2-speed means you have a low gear option. A transfer case should normally come with that, but it doesn't always. Sometimes a transfer case is really more like a differential. So anyway, it is a full-on transfer case. And then when you go to the LT model, so if you go up to the LT model, the LT Trailboss, the only mechanical thing it adds is a transmission cooler. Otherwise, everything else is the same as in terms of the Trailboss add-ons as it is with the custom Trailboss. On top of that, there are a whole bunch of niceties that go on the inside and on the looks of the truck. A lot of the looks that you're seeing right here in terms of, you know, the painted bumpers, this hood add-on, and a few other things, those are all because of the LT, not the custom. So biggest differences, to really boil it down, is it's prettier. Okay, so let's talk about the design a little bit. Things like this Duramax engine cover add-on and a couple other things that make this truck really pop. Also, I will talk about some of the differences off-road, the real capability differences between this particular package and the ZR2 off-road package, which costs more and is more capable. So let's get into that. Okay, so I'm not going to do the full, you know, how it looks thing for design like I usually do, because most of the Silverados all have the same general body styling. So the fender curve that comes down and fades, and a few other things along here, I've pointed those out before. What I will talk about is this red color really pops, and it really goes with the black accenting. So you can see the black caps on the mirrors, you can see that black hood cap, and the black, what am I thinking of? Oh, the black fenders, tow hooks, red tow hooks, and so on. Overall though, what I want you to look at is just how this truck looks all together, and what you can see in differences between this particular one and a standard one. First thing you'll notice is this gap. It's larger. These are beefier tires. These are all-terrain tires. So they're, what are they? Goodyear Duratrax. And also you have a suspension lift because of that Z71 package. I'm having a hard time with words. I think what it is I'm trying to talk too fast because I'm in a hurry to get this done because it is friggin' hot out here. It's like a furnace. I'm amazed I'm not drenched in sweat already. Anyway, I've been out here doing some off-roading and putting this in the same location I did the ZR2. So the hill right there is the big hill that I took the ZR2 down but could not come up because I didn't have the bumper clearance. The approach angle was too short to clear the rocks. This one won't even go down it, and there's a big reason for that. The biggest one is it doesn't have the same large skid plate underneath, so that when it does belly down, which it will on this because there is no choice, it's not a short wheelbase vehicle, it is going to skid the middle and do a little bit of this. It doesn't have the protection that I feel comfortable going down. Coming up, again, totally impossible. Same reason, only worse, because the approach angle on this is actually worse than on the ZR2. So all in all, for general off-road, so that's a rock climb over there. That's where you take things that have words like Rubicon written on them. For regular everyday off-road, this is more than enough. Most everybody doing 99% of the off-roading most of us do will be fine and happy with this, especially with that diesel engine. The reason being that this is a very capable four-wheel drive system, very good tires that come on this just as standard factory, and also automatically locking rear differential. So you don't have control over it, which I would prefer, but it's still there and it works. It does a pretty good job of grabbing when it needs to and letting go when it doesn't. So outside of serious mud bogging and really heavy rock climbing and things like that, this will cover you on pretty much everything. So if you're getting to the lake, you're going camping, you're getting to that lake that most people don't go to because they can't get their Subaru or whatever up there, this will handle it. So majority of buyers, this will cover you. Two things that it should have that I wish it has that it doesn't have. One is possibly a step. You don't really need the clearance underneath unless you're going to do things like go down that hill over there or really try to go over some rocks. Adding the little step and subtracting that inch or so, 2 inches of ground clearance is not going to kill it. And it would make getting in and out much easier, especially for shorter people. I have the advantage, I'm 6'3". I don't have too much of a problem getting in and out. Shorter people will. Here's a visual. This is me at 6'3". I can climb right into the truck, no issues. If I was Tim Estradal size, which is, I don't know, what is he, like 5.5? If I was that short, this would be a much harder climb. This would be much more difficult. My wife at 5'8" has a little bit of a difficult time getting in and out of this comparatively. So that's just something to FYI. It's easy aftermarket. There's probably a dealer option too, but it is something to think about. Now, a couple of things to note versus the ZR2. The ZR2 is a much more expensive truck. About $10,000 different between that one and what we have right here. This total price tag is $62,000, $4,000, and that's the LT Trailboss, not the lower end Trailboss, which is probably just as good. $4,000 of that is the Trailboss package. So you can do the math. If you buy a custom Trailboss or a custom model and you add the Trailboss package, it's roughly $4,000 to add that. You buy the LT model, you add the Trailboss package, roughly $4,000 to add that. For that $4,000, you're getting a lot of good stuff. Totally worth it, in my opinion, if you want an off-road or at least an off-road looking truck. But honestly, this is capable enough for just about everybody. I did not tow with it this week, but the bed is a decent size. It is a regular bed. It is not a long bed or full bed. So you got roughly 6 feet in there. It's a little less than that. But as an everyday driver, this is a great truck. I can't say anything totally negative about it. Even the price tag is pretty good. So kudos to Chevy for pulling this off. I know I'm not wearing a Chevy hat, but it's close, right? Sister company. So yeah, let's wrap this video up. Hey, I just realized I never showed or talked about the Monroney. So let's go over that really quick. So you can see here the total price is $62,570. That's with delivery. So you can get the whole thing for under $62,000 plus your delivery. Base price is $52,000 even. The Trailboss package is $4,000 even. The Duramax diesel is $2,590, and then you can see the other smaller add-ons, some of which you can maybe do without. I personally would not bother with the sunroof. The multiflex tailgate may or may not be something that you need. The bed view camera is useful. I like that. I like that a lot. Adaptive cruise is very useful if you spend a lot of time on the highway. So there you go. This is the Monroney for it. You can pause, check it out, read it over if you really need to. And there you go. All right, before I get heat stroke, I'm going to wrap this up. This is the 2022 Chevrolet Silverado LT Trailboss edition. Honestly, this is probably my favorite from Chevy so far in all of the Silverados. I think I like this one the most. The reason being that it is a good price point with good usable off-road gear, not just a bunch of hokey crap that makes you feel good. And it covers most everything you need out of both a half-ton pickup truck and an off-road truck. It doesn't go to extremes and does a very good job. If you add in this Duramax, which honestly it is a little pricey, but if you add in this Duramax, you're also getting efficiency, a good amount of power, and you don't get the sluggishness. And that's honestly, that's really very much to thanks to that transmission that's connected to that engine. You don't have the turbo lag and the other problems that used to be associated with diesels. So overall, very good truck. I really, really like it. So that's what I got. This has been Aaron. Talk to you again soon.
Subscribe.